Yes, people, what is going on? I hope we're all good. We're back with another one. As you've probably seen by the title of the video and what's in front of me right now, we're going to be doing our first ever review on the channel. So I've not done any reviews before. This is something completely new to me, so do bear with me. I'm going to kind of try and keep the same format as I normally do the videos in though, so it's just going to be me hitting record, doing what I'm doing, and yeah, just vibing and chatting through my experiences with this device. So as always, this is literally my experience. It's not advice on what you should get or what you shouldn't get. It's not any of that. I think we all know that by now. I'm literally just talking about my experiences and saying, what I think about this device. Is it something that I would part my money with and buy now, having tried all the different devices that I have? And what's my overall thoughts on it? What's the pros, what's the cons? I am going to do a separate video which is going to be like a tips video on specific tips on using this device and getting the most out of it, just because I think that's a bit separate. People who are looking to buy devices are looking generally at reviews, whereas people who are looking to improve the device they've already got, or improve the use on the device they've already got, or maybe they're looking at something that they're about to buy. But generally, you've got two different types of people there. So I know not everyone's going to be necessarily interested in a review on a device they already might have. However, they may be more interested in seeing what myself or other people have done to get the most. I know I have, basically. I found huge amounts of value just from hearing other people's opinions and maybe not even their opinions, but their different technique, should I say. That's more like it. The different technique that they've used within this device specifically. Sometimes it's a comment I've read online somewhere. Sometimes it's something that in Lee in Tabletop Bong said in one of his videos. And, it's all these different things. But I'm just basically going to kind of compile those in a tips video. But in this video, I'm going to be going through exactly what I think of this device, the pros, the cons. And yeah, is it something that I think that, you should go and part your money with and go and buy. Ultimately, you're going to be the one to make that choice, but I'm going to provide you with my side of things and see what you think from there. So thanks for being there anyway, people. I'm just blabbering on before even getting into it, as always. But yeah, appreciate every single one of you, man. So the Solo 3. I'm not going to lie, this thing's been a daily driver for time. Like, it really has, and it's a really reliable bit of kit. I couldn't get my words out then. It's a very premium feeling device. Like, it's heavy. It's got two 18650 batteries in it, but you can't remove them. I suppose you could if you wanted to strip them down, like the Vape review guy, I think he's called on YouTube. The guy who does the tear downs, that's really cool. Before I bought the device, I watched someone tear it down and understood exactly how it worked. But essentially, I'm just going to explain it to you quickly. In the back, you've got the air holes. That's where the air comes in through. Inside, you've got a ceramic base of the oven. You can probably see it there. And then 4 holes at the side, which air flows through. Those 4 circles, the holes are kind of smaller than that. They're just in the middle of them. I don't know if you can see them there. But yeah, essentially the air comes through there. So this is a conduction and convection device. The bottom of that oven gets insanely hot. It's ceramic. And what that does is then cooks the bottom of the glass and anything there. So you need to never pack your stems. Like I said, I'm not going to go too deep in the tips, but never pack your stems too much in these, because it instantly touches the ceramic and it will combust. Like, no joke, it's not nice. But done well, oh my days, what a device. Like, I can't lie, I've just used this again now, literally just before shooting this video, just to kind of give myself a quick refresher on exactly what it's like. Do you know what I mean? It's been a little while since I've gotten a new few devices. This one's been sat to the side for a little bit, but I thought no better way to start the reviews with something that I've spent the most time with and that I've genuinely had a lot of use out of, and I could say a lot of stuff about. Some of the other stuff, like the ball vape, I'm still dialing in. Like, I've barely had it a couple of weeks, and the Dynavac even the same. You know what I mean? And I'm trying to dial in both at the same time. I'm not overdoing the medication either. That's just not for me. So yeah, I've only got so much time and so many bowls I'm hitting. Do you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it's a slow process. This thing it's tried and tested. I've done a lot of time with this device. I wish there was a way to see exactly how much. Maybe there is. I don't know. To be fair, but yeah, you can see by the front these two marks above the screen. That is literally just wear and tear from like being in and out of pockets. And the biggest reason that that's worn is from placing it down on its screen like this. And the reason I do that is because, and this is a little bit of an annoyance with this device, I'm not going to lie. Oh, the stirrer is just rolling away there. I'll go for everything you get with it in a second. But this is just a little annoyance I just wanted to quickly touch on. There's like this cool like tag. I say a tag. It's basically a lid for the oven, right? All great when it's on. And when you've got the stem in though, it just kind of dangles like that, right? Which it's not that much of a problem until you try to put the device down on the flat, and then it does that. And I'm in my head, I'm thinking that's going to snap off eventually if I keep doing that. So maybe it doesn't. Maybe there's people who are going to write a comment saying I've done that for 5 years or 3 years or something on this device and never had a problem. Don't mean it's been out 5 years. But yeah, I ended up just putting it down this way. Buttons down, screen down. None of it's going to get damaged because the screen's behind another screen, if that makes sense. But still, I just kind of, yeah, put it down like that. And over time, that started to wear on there. But again, this has just had heavy use. Another thing you'll see is the bottom of the stem. Now, this is a clean stem. I've just literally just used it once, but that staining on the bottom, that is part of the conduction heat doing its thing with the glass and the resins. 99% ISO doesn't get it off anyway, put it that way. I know it's all clean though, and that's kind of what happens with these stems over time, just as you get like patina on a steel on the ball vape or a Dynavap, you're going to get some sort of it's not a patina, like you could potentially polish it off, but then you're going to be putting chemicals in there that you don't really want. At the end of the day, we all know what it is, and I find it's not that much of an issue anyway, but all of the stems have this. So basically, the stems that you get with it, this is one of the best things I think about this device, right? You get, except for the one that's in the device right now, you get all 4 of those stems with it, and you get a stirrer with it, and you get a charger, and that's about it, yeah. A charger, the device, and 4 stems. But the good thing about this is you've got 2 water pipe adapters and 2 regular stems. Now, I'll go through why I've got a 3rd stem in a sec. But basically, you get an XL chamber, which is this one here. And you get a standard size chamber, which is that one there. So I'm going to put them side by side. The top one's the standard, the bottom one's the XL. As you can see, the chamber's like twice the size. Is that focusing in okay? The chamber's like twice the size on the XL versus the standard. And another big difference is the air holes. So the top one is the XL, the bottom one's the standard. As you can see, 4 air holes there and 5 air holes there. There's an extra one in the center. Now, it makes a huge difference on airflow. It really does. It makes a massive difference on airflow. Me personally, over time, I've used the XL stems way more than the standard stem. Now, the same thing with the water pipes, or the water pipe adapters, should I say. You've got your XL and you've got your standard. As you can see with this one, I have never used, maybe once or twice, used the standard. I have used it a couple of times, but very rarely used the standard one. I've always used the XL one on this. That's just literally just been clean. As you can see, the glass is all clean, but it's just that same issue. And it happens a lot more with the water pipes adapters because you're tending to run them on way higher heats. Like that's just, at least I am anyway. So yeah, basically, the reason why I've got an extra stem, basically I smashed the stem that come with it. I managed to buy a pack of 2 online replacements. You can get them quite cheap online. So they weren't much expensive at all. I think it was about 10-15 quid, and I got 2 of these. And even still, even though the XLs get more use, there's about the same sort of staining on there as the other ones. It's just one of them things. Do you know what I mean? It's just one of them things. Something to make you aware of though, if it is going to annoy you. The cleaning's really easy though. You literally just pull the stem out, dunk it in ISO, shake it about, bit of salt in there if you want the abrasion. Shake it about, leave it for a bit, shake it about again, rinse it through with water, make sure it dries nicely, and you're good to go. All of the stems do come in these little tubes, which you can apparently do the ISO in that. I've never really trusted it though, so I just do it in a bag. But yeah, they come with these little stoppers on, you put them in the tubes, nice to carry around. You could definitely do that if you wanted to just carry them around. I'm pretty sure the silicone would withstand the heat. I'm not 100% on that though, but I'm pretty sure it would. So you could put the stem straight from into that, put it in the tube and carry it around. That's the thing I would say about this device in terms of carrying it around. It's quite decently sized. Like in comparison to the Tiny Mite, I've not even got the Tiny Mite right here with me now, but in comparison to the Tiny Mite or the Dynavap or any other, I mean not any other, there is other portables that are bigger than it. You know, the Mighty, the Venti, they're bigger than this, but this is still a sizable vape. It's quite heavy because of the 2 batteries in there. You know, it's got a screen on the front, it's got buttons, there's this feature where you have to hold it down to turn it on. This is how it comes. Then you put a password in. It's the same password for everyone. I just got it wrong. There we go. And then it says Arizer Solo Free, hi, and then brings you to the thing. Now, heat up times to 200, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There we go. And it's ready to go. So heat up time is nice and quick. You can cycle through preset heats. So it goes from 220, 200 and 180. They're all presets. It's just cooling itself down now. This is on session mode, so it'll just stay hot for like 20 minutes. I do believe you can change that in the settings. You can also change it from Fahrenheit to Celsius, you know, depending on which you prefer. It's got USB-C charging on the back. Now, the USB-C charging, it's limited to certain chargers. Like, it can't be too fast of a charger, essentially. If it's too high watt, it won't accept it. Or too high amp, one of those things, it won't accept it. Basically, it just doesn't accept the charger. If it doesn't charge off the charger, it's probably not the vape or the charger being broke, it's just the fact that they're not compatible. You're better just using the one that comes with it, essentially. Apparently, they brought a version 2 out of this, pretty much just, I say apparently, I know they did, it was just after I fucking bought this. But I've heard from somebody in the Discord that it's a common fault because with the version 2, they made it so that it's compatible with any USB-C charger, but that's been actually damaging the batteries because it's not, or damaging part of it because it's not made to actually take that. So it's a whole nother nightmare. I'm not gonna lie, this has been super reliable. Never had no issues. The only thing that's ever come up on it over the whole time is an error. I can't remember what the error code was, but it got left somewhere that was really cold and damp. And so basically I could see a bit of moisture under the screen and I thought it was fucked, to be honest. I thought it was the end. Turned out it wasn't. It basically just needed a bit of time. I just left it in a warmer room and it was fine. But yeah, the battery life is really good. Really good. Like, you're getting a good amount of these sessions on there. You're not going to need the full 20 minutes to extract a bowl at all, even on 180. But once you step it up and you want a full extraction, it's not going to... I do think it runs hotter. Like 180, I think it's running hotter than 180 just because of the conduction. I do have a little tip to get around that, but I'll leave that for the tips video. So if it's already out now, head over and watch the tips video and you'll see. But yeah, I would... overall, this device, I can't lie, it's a proper good entry level into the premium devices. Like, I know that kind of sounds a bit mad, entry level and premium in the same like thing, but obviously these premium devices, you can go from, this was like 250, you can go from 250 to 550 easily, and that's over double the price already. And then you can still spend more than that. Like, you really can go massively expensive, especially when you go on the ball vapes and stuff. you can really spend a lot of money. So for this, for 250, what you get is the ability to use water pipes with 2 different stem sizes. You can interchange, so you can always just use one and clean the other if you wanted to. The same way with these standard like straw-like stems, super easy cleaning. Really good flavour, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie, the flavour is good. It's not as good as, I'd say there's a couple others that have been on par, or better slightly, but this is where I'm saying it's premium, because I feel like there's diminishing returns the more you spend. You get slight improvements. This compared to the X Max V3 Pro, right? I know this ain't a comparisons video, so I'm just jumping all over a bit. This is my first review, all right? But basically, because shit, I was gonna say the X Max V3 Pro, right? Compared to this, just quickly, yeah. What a jump in flavour. This is insane jump in flavour. Ease of use, wow. Like, again, it's not a comparison, but even compared to like the Tiny Mite 2, for example, this is so much easier. It's there's advantages and disadvantages of both, but for me, for this, it's the ease of use. Ease of use. Yeah, basically how easy it is to use straight out of the box. As long as you don't pack your stem so much that the flower's touching the ceramic plate on the bottom and combusting, you're pretty much good to go. And don't have it dead loose inside so it drops onto the thing. Here's me doing a tips video in the middle of anyway, we move, people, we move. Essentially, there's very little for you to go wrong on this device in comparison to some of the others. And very, 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 very good results from just a small bit. Honestly, a small bit of medication goes a long way in it. And the extraction is really thorough. So you can temp step up. And I'll be honest, after I got the Tiny Mite and some of the other devices, I started to use this more just as like a desktop. Like, it didn't really leave the house because of the size of it. It's just not quite as portable as some of the other portables. Like, it is, but it isn't. I would leave this in the whole time, which makes it quite big in your pocket. I didn't want to carry one of them tubes with me. And yeah, I just think it's not tiny, it's not huge, it's not very discreet, you know what I mean? It doesn't look like your regular vape because it's massive. But at the end of the day, so look at the Mighty, that's the same. Look at the Venti, that's the same. It's one of them things. It depends what you're looking for. You're never gonna get that with this. And look at the ball vape. Do you know what I mean? It's again, you're never gonna get that with that. But that's a whole different kettle of fish. They are all. There's different vapes for different people, and that's what brings me on to this. Right? Who do I think this is for? I think this is perfect for somebody who's getting into vaping and they're looking to spend like that sort of money at the 250 mark. They don't quite want to go 350, 400. They're not quite sure, but they don't mind dropping a couple £100. I mean, you can pick them up secondhand as well. People be selling them for like, 150s and stuff like that. You can definitely pick them up with, even with extra stems like mine here. It's got an extra stem with it. There's people selling them with the rattlers. I did have a rattler, but I had a falling out with it. Yeah, that was wounding. That was really good as well. The rattler made it even better. I have put terp pearls inside these stems before now and closed them in with like screens, basically basket screens. Just put the terp pearls in, put a basket screen on top, and it's been great at making it even cooler. And yeah, but I'll be honest, it's decent at cooling anyway because it's got quite that long stem on it. It's cool enough for you to get good clouds, good flavour, and full extraction in literally a few draws. Like, you don't have to, like I say, you do not need the full time. The session timer is if you're going to be reloading and reusing it over and over. There is an on-demand mode. I'll show you that quickly. And I'll just explain why. I'll be honest, I don't really rate the on-demand mode. It's not like the on-demand mode on the Tiny Mite, for example. It's just not the same sort of thing. Or the X-Max. So you've got on-demand, and when you go into it, you've got a few temperature settings, 1 to 5. And that's fine. I don't mind that. You can kind of, search up and Google or read the manual and find out roughly what they are. You press up and it starts to heat up. The bars fill up, and then once it gets to full temperature, it'll give you a little beep to let you know it's there, and it'll start to reduce down in heat. There we go. And once it's cooling down, like, it gives you so many seconds. It's adjustable how many seconds you want it to give, and it'll beep again. And that's the one heat cycle done. Now you can adjust those seconds. I'm pretty certain you could probably adjust the heat as well. However, that, even though it's off now, it's still applying heat. So if I had just put flour in there and taken, 2-3 draws over that light draws, or even just one light draw over that couple of seconds, and then I just left it here like that, and I was sat talking away for 5 minutes, I'd come back and it would be completely done. And that's just because the ceramic plate at the bottom holds the heat. The glass, even though it does disperse quickly, there's so much heat and it's all trapped in that one place, and they've got the flour in there as well. It's all just going to start the process, even if you're not taking a draw, which I just think is a bit of a negative. But there's negatives with every device. I've said this before with everything. Like, there's pros and cons to absolutely everything. And so I'm just trying to be transparent in saying those negatives. I'm not trying to throw shade on it and say it's bad, because, like, you can see it's been used. Like, I have proper spent a lot of time with this device, man, and it's done me proud. Like, I'm really happy with the money I've spent, and I've saved well more than that in the amount of flour, or the amount of money I was spending on combusting flour previously compared to this. It's insane. Way more than the $250 I've saved. So yeah, I'd say the heat up time's decent. The on-demand mode, it's one of them. If you do want to use it, you can just pull it out. Look at that. There's like a little bit. So this is a good little thing to talk about. Is screens as well. Again, I don't want to go too much into tips. This is where it's a blurred line. Let me know, people. Do you think tips should just be included in the review, or should we have a separate review video? In this instance, I've not talked about all my tips, so I'm definitely gonna have to be doing a separate one. But for future ones, let me know what you think. But yeah, essentially, I use these basket screens, right? So this is also the stirrer. I forgot to say, this is the stirrer that comes with it. So it comes in that little tube. It's quite handy. I've just used it there to pull the screen out. These are the basket screens. They're rimless basket screens. They work perfect. You just kind of take one, push it in there, and it just keeps things extra clean. I wasn't using them at first. I'm not gonna lie, I weren't using them. And it does work perfectly fine without, but you'll start to get, like, potentially little bits of flour in your mouth. And yeah, for me, I get it though, the screens do kind of mess the airflow up after so long, but you can just run it on a higher temp with it empty and let it burn the screen off, or swap the screen out. But yeah, I get it. It's not for everyone. Overall, as you can probably tell, I'm pretty happy with this device. I'd say it's perfect for somebody who's, like I say, wanting to get involved in the premium level devices and not spend massive level of money. You've pretty much got everything you're going to get from most devices with this, with a few little negatives that you might not get with others, but also a few positives that you might not get with others as well. For example, if I was using this through a water pipe with one of these water pipe adapters, I would be able to clear the entire bowl within a couple hits, as opposed to using the tiny mite. It's not going to happen. It's going to take you way longer, and that's just because you're using pure convection. The heat is so far away from the actual material, whereas in this, the heat is right there. The conduction's going on, even if you are just talking with it in your hand and it's turned on. Yeah, the heat's just retaining. Even when it's turned off, the heat retains. So you have to kind of take the stem out if you want to actually stop the cooking going on, if you like. So yeah, I think I've pretty much covered everything. I'd say loading it up, that's worth just mentioning. Super easy. You can just straw method it, learned that from Lee at Tabletop Bong. I'm sure all you already know about Lee at Tabletop Bong. This device works perfect if you just put not a ridiculous amount in. To be honest with you, it works really good, even with actual nugs. Like, you don't even need to grind anything up. Just throw in an actual nug so that it just kind of holds its place within the stem. And it's good to go. It does the job. You get really good flavour at that point as well. Again, I think I'm blurring the line on tips here. But there you go. Overall, I think I've wrapped up. Sorry, I think I've hit most of the points there that I wanted to hit. So I think we can kind of wrap up. Again, this is my first review. I'm just trying to kind of give an overall verdict on pluses and negatives about this device overall. I don't know if I've done that necessarily well today. I'm just gonna go for it and we'll see what we think. But overall, very, very good device. Very, very good device. Really good clouds. Really easy to use. Really good battery life. Really fast heat up time. Really good flavour. And just a couple of little, bits that you have to kind of get your head around. And little niggly issues like having to put a passcode in every time you turn it on. I believe there's an update that you can change that. I just never bothered. Who wants to plug in and update their vape? Do you know what I mean? I'm trying to get medicated, mate, not trying to update my vape. But I get it. Fair play that they've done that, if that is true. And yeah, little niggly things like this tag on the back causing you to then have to put it on the screen side. Yeah, I wouldn't say the error coming up when it was stored in a damp place is necessarily bad. It's an electrical device. It's stupid that I shouldn't have stored it somewhere damp, cold and damp. You know what I mean? It's just a stupid idea. But it's one of them things. It's survived through it, and I think it's a testimony to how rugged it is and how good of a bit of kit it is. The stems, okay, they are, potentially quite fragile, but the device itself, it's took a couple of knocks and it's been sound enough. You can even see along the bottom there, there's just a couple little bits where it's been worn from use over time. It's just been a heavily used device, man, and that's because it's a good device. Ultimately, like I say, when I got this, I sold the X-Max V3 Pro because it just wasn't... There was no competition, mate. It was never going to get used. And yeah, I just think if you're looking to get one of these and everything I've explained is not completely putting you off, then maybe it's a good shout, you know what I mean? Because I don't think there's anything in there that was a weird way to word that. I don't think there's anything in there that's going to massively put you off. But what I'd say is there's negatives about every device. So you probably already know the positives from reading things online and looking into it. It is a really, really good device, and people are not lying when they're saying that it is. I'm just trying to add those little niggly bits and little bits that I think are worth mentioning, basically. But yeah, it feels premium, it looks premium, it's good on battery life. Yeah. I think I'm just repeating myself now. I think yeah, I think that's it, people. I think we're going to leave it there. I am going to go get myself medicated and get myself off to bed, and I might as well use this because yeah, why not? I've not actually tried it through the globe yet, so maybe I'll do that. But anyway, listen, thank you for being here. If you've been here up until this point, you already know what to do. Drop the 420 in the chat. I appreciate every single one of you, as you already know. Let me know what you think of the reviews. If this is something I should go at going forward, should I split it up, do the tips separately? Yeah, I don't know, man. Let me know what you think. Maybe you're thinking, nah, don't do any more reviews, mate. You was dead at that. That was awful. Which, fair enough, you know what I mean? I understand if that's what you're saying. But yeah, I appreciate you for being here, as always. Make sure you jump in the Discord if you ain't already. Some absolute legends in there. You already know. I say it all the time. And hopefully I'll see you on the stream at the weekend. Until then, take it easy. And big love. Stay medicated, people. See you later.